Thanks for staying with us. We're going to start with the nation, though there are not much stories in the headline. The major headline, our reform initiatives have improved the Public Complaints Commission fortune, says Chief Commissioner Abubakar. A few other stories internally, and look, I'm not sure which stories the ladies took, but
I took
let's
stories.
take a few stories in the
This
nation.
one is public announcement to my fellow Nigerians that live in Ogun State, Edo State, Delta, Bayelsa, Cross River, and Akwa Ibom. They say you should brace up because there will be heavy rainfall over the next 3 days, starting from today. Lagos State would experience light showers. Ondo, Ekiti, Imo, Abia would have light showers, but there will be heavy rainfall. They also said it will be very windy. So dry. If you don't need to be on the road, don't be on the road. That's just it. Because people will say they did not know that there might be hints of flash flood might happen as well. That they've had some states that have experienced flash floods, but just be aware that the roads might be slippery and there might be reduced visibility because of the heavy rainfall that NIMET has predicted. You are warned. Be careful.
So before warned, beforehand. The one I have is the no plan to extend service year by NYSC, says Education Minister. And the Education Minister, Tunji Alausa, has denied reports that he advocated for the extension of the National Youth Service Corps NYSC service year from 1 year to 2 years. He says, I didn't say NYSC should be extended for 2 years. Alausa said this while delivering the 28th convocation lecture at the Lagos State University, Lasu Ojo, and he particularly mentioned that the convocation lecture was titled Patriotism and Citizenship and National Ownership, the Imperative of Collective Responsibility for Nigeria's Future. His words, my proposal to NYSC was that it should look into the possibility of forming a teacher corps. It has been done in other parts of the world. Let's form a teacher corps which NYSC can anchor. Teacher corps will engage voluntarily in the optional way. Teachers to go serve in the rural communities for 2 years and pay them, even if they are being paid the NYSC service wages. It is not enough. So the minister explained that his suggestion was informed by the fact that the nation has many well-trained but unemployed national certificates of education, NCE holders. And today he's saying that those teachers who are well-trained but have no job. So in rural areas, there are no teachers to teach mathematics, English, and science. He also restated the federal government's plan to launch a $10 million youth entrepreneurship venture capital grant for the youths in the universities. So he has clarified that
it's possible that
good.
Is it possible that a journalist heard the first time, didn't think it through, and just ran with it, and then put it on social media? See how powerful. So now it's good that he came to clarify. Let me take the major headline, or the only story in the front page. The Chief Commissioner of the Public Complaints Commission, that's Bashir Abubakar, has highlighted key reform initiatives put in place by the organization's new leadership that have enhanced its fortune and ensure improved efficiency in providing access to administrative justice to Nigerians. The Public Complaints Commission is part of the efforts to revitalize the Ombudsman and to ensure the institution to meet the expectations of Nigerians. I said we foster trust and harmony in the country through fair and impartial resolution of citizens' grievances against public and private organizations and the officials. So I think we talk about this on the show, where people have issues. Maybe you got fired wrongly, or some citizen duped you, and you're looking for some way to complain to. It's got to be that commission that is listening and ready to help and ensure that justice is served. So I'm happy that they're doing some kind of internal revamping to ensure that they meet the services of Nigerians.
Okay, so the Bayelsa State High Court has explained why 15 domestic staff of Dame Patience Jonathan, who allegedly stole over 500 million worth of jewelry, are still being held after over 4 years at the Nigerian Custodial Center, or Kaka, Bayelsa State. So the court's head, Media and Information, Julius L. Nyanayo, said the case being handled in High Court 1 by Chief Judge of Bayelsa State, Justice Matilda Ayemiye, suffered delays, they said, due to multiple defense lawyers who must cross-examine witnesses and several adjournments at the instance of the counsel. He also said the charge sheet includes allegation of armed robbery and attempted murder. He said the accused were involved not only in the break-in at the former First Lady's residence, but also included those who allegedly purchased stolen items, jewelry, and valuables. The suspects, they mentioned their names. I don't think I want to mention all the names. So, but the statement here says that the attention of the Bayelsa State High Court has been drawn to a media report entitled Ex-Nigerian First Lady Patience Jonathan holds 15 domestic workers in prison over missing jewelry by an online reporter. This was Thursday, April 3rd. So the Bayelsa State High Court says, as a responsible organization, they want to just set the record straight in the interest of justice and balance, reportage, like what you just mentioned. You just pick the headline and you run without getting the full details just for sensation. It doesn't make sense.
Okay, another story, moving on now to Punch. 11 PDP governors urge Supreme Court to halt Rivers emergency rule. A few other stories in Ajero mobilizes NLC members to invade LP offices nationwide. Zulum says military failing to repel insurgents, Defense Headquarters fires back. And 11 PDP governors urge Supreme Court to halt Rivers emergency rule. Okay, which story?
I have the one that says the court has slammed an Abuja school 100 million in damages over the death of a student. And the Federal Court, the Federal Capital Territory High Court in Abuja on Tuesday awarded the sum of 100 million in general damages against Louisville Girls Secondary School, Gwagwalada, for negligence of duty of care, which led to the death of a student. So Mr. Ifeanyi Ikpetuzum had sued the school for negligence that resulted in the death of his 9-year-old daughter, Kamzi. And in the suit, Kamzi, who was admitted as a boarding student in September 2017, became severely ill by October 2nd and died a few days later. And Justice Silvanus Orji, while delivering the judgment in the suit, brought before the courts after had awarded 100 million naira cost, ordered a 10% interest on the judgment sum from April 8th until further payment. He also awarded an additional 300,000 to the cost of the suit. And the justice pronounced the decision at the court, held by the evidences presented, and showed that the agents acted negligently by failing to attend promptly and adequately to Kamsi's medical needs. I pray that may her soul rest in peace. At least somebody is taking accountability for this.
So I have one story for the break. So Governor Babagana Zulum of Borno State has said that military is failing to repel insurgents in Borno. The governor claimed that the state was losing grounds to terrorists, citing the recent attacks on military formations, killings and abductions of residents. The Minister of Information, however, responded to the governor, argued that the security agencies are working round the clock to bring the situation in parts of Borno under control. On March 24th, Boko Haram militants had launched attacks on 2 military formations in Borno State, targeting certain local governments. Some of the insurgents were killed during the attacks, while troops were dislodged from their bases. About 2 soldiers were feared dead and others sustained injuries when the convoy, including the newly deployed Brigadier Commander of Operation Hadinkai, struck landmines along the Maiduguri Biu Road. So also, if you recall, in January, about 40 farmers were reportedly killed in Dumba community in Borno State, and many others, we believe. So because of this, the governor said, we seem to be losing ground to Boko Haram. And obviously, the government needs to do so much more. Then the Minister of Information was saying, the government is doing all they can do, and it's not all of Borno, it's certain parts of Borno, but they're working around the clock to control it. Let's go on a very short break now. When we come back, we continue with the review. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned. Your View will be right back.